Alright, yeah, welcome back to some more Magic Arena Mana Burn, and in this series we take a deck that pretty much hurts us as much as it hurts our opponent, and try to win with it. In this case, quite literally. Today we're going to be playing a Mardu Axis of Mortality combo list. So, Axis of Mortality is a 4 and 2 white enchantment that says at the beginning of your upkeep you may have 2 target players exchange life totals. So, what we want to be doing is basically playing this down on turn 6, and whoever has the most life is us. That's basically how we're going to be winning this game. So we're going to be swapping life totals constantly, most likely, and we're going to be taking advantage of those greater life totals. It kind of incentivizes our opponent to stay back with their creatures, because when they hurt us, if our life total goes below theirs, we just swap it over and we effectively gain life. So the way that we're actually going to win with Axis of Mortality is using things like Doom Whisperer, who is one of the main ways to win the game. 5 mana 6/6 with flying and trample, but the key to this one is the pay 2 life to surveil 2. So the surveil isn't entirely relevant, but it is useful. But what we want to be doing is, when we've got an Axis of Mortality and a Doom Whisperer down on the board, in response to the Axis of Mortality trigger, the trigger to swap life totals, we want to be using the pay 2 life as much as we possibly can to take our opponent, or us in this particular case, down to a life total that will kill them. So that could either be the Doom Whisperer's 6/6 combat damage if they can't deal with it, and we can just swing over that way. So we want to get our life total down to 6, swap it over with Axis of Mortality and swing. We could also do 3 damage as well. We've got Lightning Strikes to do that. 2 mana for an instant speed, deals 3 damage to any target, so we could get ourselves down to 3 life or less and just Lightning Strike them for the win. We could also use things like Chance for Glory as well. If we've just played down our Doom Whisperer and it has Summoning Sickness, we can use Chance for Glory to take an extra turn to protect the Doom Whisperer from any damage-based or destroy effects, because creatures gain indestructible, and we also take an extra turn as well, which removes the Summoning Sickness off Doom Whisperer and allows us to swing through. The trample is really big there as well, because if they have some 1/1 flyers back to block, they're going to need 6 of them in order to prevent all of the damage that we need to do. And we can take our life total most of the time about as low as we can, as we want, really. Most of the time it's in 2 life increments. Like, we have Argyl's Bloodfast as well to pay 2 life, pay 1 and a black to draw a card, so we can use this in the early game to aggressively draw cards, and when our life total becomes 5 or less, we can flip it so that we can sack creatures, in this case Doom Whisperer, to gain some life if we should choose to do so. But mainly we're actually wanting this for the pay 2 life and draw a card, because as we mentioned, we can spend a lot of our mana and a lot of our life drawing cards, because if we go lower than our opponent's life total, we swap over and we gain life, and effectively our opponent has paid life for us to draw cards. So it's a fun little synergy. I should state right at this point in time, this deck is quite bad. It's a kind of a meta bad situation though, because this deck, although it wins with Lightning Strike, it also loses to Lightning Strike, because you can imagine if you bring your life total down to 2 in response to the Axis of Mortality life switcheroo, they can just Lightning Strike you in the face and you're dead. So you have to be really careful about that kind of thing. We do have some ways of just gaining random life gain here and there, like Fountain of Renewal to gain our life back up if we want to. We have the Dawn of Hope combo in here as well. No surprises, anyone who's been watching the channel for the past few weeks knows what this one does, but this is another way of winning as an alternative. Dawn of Hope can create tokens for 4 mana, and whenever we gain life we can pay 2 life. So we have the Fountain of Renewal here, gaining a life every upkeep, so every upkeep on turn 2 we can start paying 2 to draw cards. So in the early game we are drawing 2 cards a turn, which is awesome. I love this combo. It's amazing. And we can also sack it in a panic situation as well to draw an extra card if we are looking for things like our Axis of Mortality and things like that. But yes, we can gain life gain randomly at some points as well. If we have like a Doom Whisperer or our opponent has creatures on board, we can either use Moment of Craving to gain 2 life for 1 and a black. We can kill a creature with -2/-2, which is really good for early game aggro, because we do need to survive until we get to turn 6. If we do that against mono red, they'll have brought us down to about 5 or 6 life, so they'll have basically done our job for us, and we'll go back up to 20, because most of the time we won't actually be hitting our opponent until it's too late. So, Moment of Cravings, nice little life gain to survive, and then whatever life total we're at when we hit turn 6 is our opponent's life total at that point. We also have Deafening Clarion as well to sweep the board for the early game creatures. We really do struggle against aggro, so really hedging against that, basically. Surviving till turn 6 is quite difficult if your opponent's aggroing you out, so Clarions, Cravings are the ways to do that. We also have Vraska's Contempts as well for creatures to gain 2 life, but also Planeswalkers as well. If we're up against a control list, then we've got Vraska's Contempt for their Teferis and other Planeswalkers, maybe even some of their win cons. I believe we have a match actually where a Nether Hall gets played, so Vraska's Contempt would be useful in that situation. For everything that those don't hit though, we have Cleansing Nova. 5 mana to destroy all creatures, which is the primary use of this one, but also if we end up having something Ixalan's binding, like they bind our Axis of Mortality, effectively making it very difficult to win, then we can actually use the destroy all artifacts and enchantments side of it. We do run a fair few artifacts and enchantments ourselves though, so it is kind of a weighing up the pros and cons of using this card. We also have 2 copies of Cast Down as well to destroy target non-legendary creatures, speaks for itself really. And that's essentially the deck. The mana base is reasonably simple. We're in Mardu colours, so we have 4 plains, 4 swamps, 4 mountains, 3 copies of Isolated Chapel, Dragonskull Summits, Clifftop Retreats, and then we have some Shocklands as well in here, Sacred Foundry, which pretty much help all 3 of our Czech lands come into play untapped. So it's a nice mountains or plains in the early game. Really nice to shock this in turn 1 and play Fountain of Renewal, because you end up gaining the life back anyway, so it's not really too much of a cost. And then finally we have 1 copy of Field of Ruin, because this game does go on quite long, and we don't really want our opponent having Azcantors and things like that, so I think it's fairly easy enough to run at least 1 colourless land in a 3-colour deck like this one, but can be sketchy from time to time. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into the games, and hopefully we can pull off this combo, and I'll see you all there. Okay, 3-lander with Dawn of Hope and Bloodfast and removal. I think this is about as good as an early hand can possibly get. We've got none of our late game stuff in, which is awesome, because our late game stuff is really bad in the early game. Like, superbly bad. Some sort of Esper build, it looks like. I'm going to go with the Bloodfast. Negate. Wow, okay. What the hell's he got then? An Opt. Okay. Alright then. Keeps it to the top. He has what he wants, which is consistent land drops. This probably is not a winning game, but we can continue as though it was, I suppose. I'm going to get this Dawn of Hope down now while he's got 1 blue mana. Hopefully he's not running Syncopate and he's actually running Sinister Sabotage as his counterspell. Therefore we actually survive this one. Looks like it might be the case. Is this Esper Amulet? I'm not sure what the actual consistency of the deck is, but win condition being Chromium, I believe, is basically what we need to know. Alright, well, I'm going to play a land. I'm going to pass the turn. I think instead of pinging our life down, we're going to just make a Dawn of Hope token so we can gain some life and draw some cards. I think that's probably just the better, smarter move. Dumps a Ritual of Soot. Okay. It could also just be simply Esper control that's running jumpstart stuff for some reason. I really don't know. Could see a Teferi coming down here. It's a Notion Rain. Okay. Notion Rain. Takes the 2. Keeps the 2 cards as well. Alright, this does open up removal as an option for my opponent, but I don't think I really care about that. If he wants to use his cast downs and things like that on a token, that's fine by me. Yeah, okay. Every time he does that, that means something like my Doom Whisperer has a greater chance of surviving the turn. And honestly, getting that pressure down just so that it's a fairy feels less comfortable coming down is a lot. It's a lot of power that we hold. Alright, let's swing. See if he has another removal spell to stop us drawing cards. Not today. Alright, well, one's all I needed. Let's draw some cards. Land drop for the turn. Cool. Pass the turn. We can make another token and swing for 2. And we can make another token and swing for 3. And soon enough, we're going to be in a great spot. Hostage taker. Okay. Well, if I lightning strike this hostage taker, he never takes my token. So I get to keep that around. I believe. Is that how it works? Yeah, cool. And we can actually just use Bloodfast instead to draw a card. To make up for us not drawing an extra card this turn with our token. So this isn't the Esper Amulet. This looks like just some sort of Esper control build. Probably a homebrew. Alright, we have not enough for an extra Dawn of Hope token, so Sacred Foundry tapped, go. We can actually Bloodfast plus Dawn of Hope. Night Veil Predator. Yeah, okay. I don't particularly care about running tokens into that. I still draw a card. And let's drain some life to draw some cards as well. Deafening Clarion. That's cool. I like that. It's probably not going to get a better use than on a Predator. Unless he's running Thief of Sanities, but we have a spare one. And plenty of removal for a Thief of Sanity, honestly. So let's draw that card. Boop boop. Chance for Glory is whatever. And kill this Predator. Oh, if he uses a counter spell on that, that's great. Yeah. I really don't care about that resolving. Not at this stage in the game. When we're on 18 life, just taking 3 is not that bad. Okay. Draw some cards. Extra Dawn of Hope. That's cute. Alright, well, we have to discard 2 cards, so I'm probably actually going to have to play this Doom Whisperer. Because I've got nothing better to do. So, Doom Whisperer. It's maybe actually better to lead off with the Dawn of Hope, but whatever. Yeah, I should have led off with this to bait out that counter spell. I don't think he counters this anyway, but it's worth a shot. Maybe he counters both of them. Ooh, imagine that. That'd be wonderful. Counter it. Memorial for Predator. Okay. You do you, opponent. You do you. Alright, let's kill it again. Let's save our Cleansing Novas just in case he does have a big threat like Chromium. Then we can just kill anything that isn't power and toughness related to our board wipes. Alright. Make a token. Make a donation to the Bloodbath. Ooh, Fountain of Renewal. That's nice. I need to find my Axis of Mortality, though. I don't think he really has an answer to dying to that, and he can't really hit us in the face with any kind of burn. You could always flash in a Chromium and kill us that way, but an actual Axis of Mortality? There it is. Does it resolve? Let's find out. If it resolves, we're in a solid position that only a Cleansing Nova could disrupt. Yeah, okay. That's fine. That's fine. Let's just dump a Moment of Craving. We'll keep one for Thief of Sanities. We got the Deafening Clarion for that Night Veil Predator. Cleansing Nova for things like Nether Hall. So let's Nova away Nether Hall. Hope that he doesn't have a counter or draw into one. He looks Planeswalker-less, which is good for us. We do have the Contempt anyway, but it'd be nice to never see a Teferi. Opts. To the top. Likes that card. It's shiny. It's the Canisters. Alright. First time my opponent's really had a chance to refill, isn't it? Yeah, pretty much. That must have been really hard going for our opponent. Not being able to refill their hand as a control deck is not a nice thing. Okay, let's draw some cards. Go look for another Axis of Mortality, which we're just going to have to force through, really. We don't have too much opportunity to make it happen. But he does have 4 cards in hand and plenty of blue. I'm hoping he taps out here to stop us drawing extra cards. No, okay. Yeah, I think we've got to slap it down in response to him countering threat removal. I think that has to be it, really. 3, 6. We got 2 mana open. His Syncopate is very effective. There's a Fountain of Renewal. Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to decline that. Stick down a Fountain. And pass the turn. Just pressure with the Dawn of Hope. It's not the way I wanted to win, but it's the way we're going to win. Dumps a land. And draws 2. 29 cards to our 29 cards. We've drawn equal amounts of cards. It's a nice and close one. Okay. Let's draw some cards. Let's draw some cards. Doom Whisperer. That's a pretty decent threat to drop down prior to an Axis. Because I don't suppose that it sticks. But honestly, I'm just going to keep swinging. Blink of an eye on a token. Kicked. Interesting. Alright, takes the damage. Cool. I think we've drawn enough of our deck at the moment, so I'm just going to decline all of these. And we're going to pass, dumping Field of Ruin. And probably the Chance for Glory. Yeah. It's too risky. There's another one still in our deck, I believe, so yeah, there is. We can just draw that one. Ravenous Chupacabra. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Eh. I'll let this go. I can make extra Dawn of Hope tokens if I don't kill it here. Boop. And boop. And then we can Moment of Craving it. having two threats on board to push through. I don't need to draw. I'm in the dominant position. My opponent is forced to answer everything that I do here. He might be inclined to counterspell the Moment of Craving, which would be wonderful. And if he does that, then I'm going to try and drop the Axis. So let's it go. Okay. I'll draw a little bit here. I always want to be at a nice life card state. As long as I've got more cards in my hand than my opponent does at all times, then I'm in a really wonderful position. So let's see if he starts firing off his removal. Cast down. Like, at this stage, I think because of our life total being so high, there's not really much point to drop the Axis of Mortality. Like, I can slowly descend life totals until they get into, like, lightning strike range, but if I really have to. We could try it. It doesn't really matter if it doesn't resolve. And I can still make a Dawn of Hope token and go back up to 2 damage a turn. Oh wow, resolves. Okay. And I'm not going to commit any more fountains to the board, because I think I've already committed far too many enchantments as it is. So if I want, I could start blood fasting. But I don't think I'm gonna. I could exchange life totals with my opponent so that they're so that I have a lower life total to ping closer to the exchange total, but I don't think I should do that either. I think at this stage I'm just gonna commit to killing them. Decline. And decline. I think maybe we'll draw 1 card here. Yeah, let's have this card. Just stay up at 7 at all times. And decline that change. No reason to. Hitting land drops is basically what I'm looking for. Hit a land drop and stay at 7 cards is exactly what I want to be doing. Okay, take 2. Decline all these triggers. I think this deck, for my opponent, is a really good example of why Teferi just absolutely carries the control decks. I'm just like not really giving my opponent too much of an opportunity to ever get an edge on me here. But Teferi at any point would be obnoxious. Alright. 5 permanents. We always have to select, by the way, if you were curious why I'm doing that. It's not a May ability to target. So I have to pick the 2 players and then decide not to exchange life totals. Decline. Decline. And decline. And we have lethal next turn, so if he doesn't have answers to this board state, he's dead. As a murder, okay. And of Vraska's Contempt. Alright, I think he's just survived an extra turn, because I can't make an extra 7 tokens here, unfortunately. I could drop down Doom Whisperer, though. That would be 6 power for an extra 1 mana on top of the Dawn of Hope. So we threaten lethal again, though a single removal spell gets him back into the game again. But he's on such a horrible position now. Ravenous Chupacabra, okay. Kills Doom Whisperer, so we'll pass. We'll let this happen. Not even going to Surveil, don't even need to. It's probably correct to be on the safe side, but I don't think there is a safe side to need to be on. I think this game is well and truly over. Alright. Dawn of Hope. Dawn of Hope. 1 mana short, unfortunately, of a Dawn of Hope. We could Bloodfast. Sure, why not? Maybe it gets me a lightning strike or something. Or a moment of craving. There you go. Boop, boop. Decline everything. Don't need none of this. Well, this is not the way I wanted to win. But I will take any win that is given to me. You are dead. Especially relinquishing control from a control deck. That is one of my favourite things to do. Alright, I'm gonna shock this in. I ain't even done the math, but who needs math, right? I sure as hell don't. Look at all those triggers to decline. Look at all that card draw opponent that you're not allowed. I could share some with you. You know what? Oof. Ooh, you felt that? Yeah, nice. He knows. He knows. Alright. Dead on board. Vraska's Contempt is not going to be good enough for one creature. He needs like a full board wipe here, otherwise he is dead. And he's dead. Wicked. Alright, well let's try and actually get an Axis win, shall we? Because that was not the win that I was aiming for. Okay, we're in. We have our Dawn of Hope Fountain combo, an Axis and a bit of removal. We do need our black mana, but we don't have any black cards in hand right now, so it's not really a concern at this stage in the game, but we will need it eventually. A green deck. Oh boy. Well, if it's the turn 2 Steel Leaf, we are definitely in trouble. We'll have to see. I've seen a lot of elves recently though, so I'm not even sure if a turn 2 Steel Leaf is a thing that we'll see. Got a Jade Light Ranger, okay. Green-black. That is a thing that I've seen a lot of. It's a very creative deck for creative people. Alright, Dawn of Hope. Go. He has his black mana. And a Vraska. It's game over. This is absolute no draw for my opponent. Short of this being the Steel Leaf champion, which honestly, this is just as good. Yeah, I'm just gonna scoop right now, to be honest. Ouch, we're dead. Let's see if we draw a Chance for Glory. We don't. Okay, I wanted to go out on my own terms, but we can't. I suppose I could Lightning Strike the Vraska. I could just kill the Vraska and then we're not in the worst position, but I don't think we're in a winning position either. You know what? I'm not one to quit easily. Let's go for it. I don't think we're winning though. Being 2 lands behind as well is abysmal. And not only 2 lands behind, but no black. And as you can see, that's going to be the thing that kills us. So we're taking 5, then we're taking 7, then we're taking 1,000,000. Ooh, 1 black mana. Alright. That's a thing, I suppose. Dawn of Hope Fountain. Go. I actually need to just... Oh my god. Right, well, we're definitely gone now. See you later. Alright, we're in. We're pretending that game never happened. Let's see. Turn 4 is when we start doing things. Chance for Glory is pretty much a non-existent card. So we'll block this out of our minds and say, is this a good 6? Or should I just go for a mulligan 6? I think we can do a better 6. On a mulligan, to be honest. And this one's much better. Alright, so we do have the Fountain of Renewal Dawn of Hope on time, and there's some black mana for our Vraska's Contempt, which I'm fairly happy to go and grab. I do need to shock this in if I don't find Dawn of Hope in time. But, I mean the white mana for Dawn of Hope. But we'll go for the Swamp first. You never know, we could top deck a land that doesn't force me to shock this one in. We're up against Dimir, so... Hopefully, Dawn of Hope, lovely. Coming down here, he's going to be really good for us. Because now we're drawing 2 cards a turn. He can Thought Erasure or do whatever he wants. It's probably Disinformation Campaign. Ooh, Discovery. Okay. Slow Dimir opponent. It depends on how many Disinformation Campaigns he finds, but drawing 2 cards a turn is quite nice. Another Dawn of Hope. And another Dawn of Hope. Good God. Alright. We've got a bit of a redundancy in our hand. But at least it's discard fodder. So I'm guessing this takes Vraska's Contempt so he can play his Doom Whisperer next turn. Because honestly, Dawn of Hopes at this stage don't really do a great deal. I mean, I can draw an extra card here and then play another Dawn of Hope. Just so that we've got like 2 extra cards, so we're drawing 3 a turn. That wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, and honestly, I think that's probably what I'm going to go for. He knows about these lands, doesn't he, so... Now we're drawing 2 a turn. We could start slapping down... I shouldn't put that there, actually, because he knows about these 2 here. I could start slapping down tokens and swinging through. Start eating away at that removal a bit. Ooh, nice. So, presumably he's got no Thought Erasures or Disinformation Campaigns. Dumps a Sinister Sabotage. Yeah, because I guess he needs to find an answer to this real quick, which... I mean, Dispersal's kind of the answer, but... I don't know what else he could have. And a Moment of Craving into the yard. I think this turn we'll draw some extra cards. There's Axis of Mortality. Ooh. I don't think I commit more to this board, really. I don't need to. Let's just Sacred Foundry tapped. So he only knows about this Dawn of Hope now, and I don't care that he knows that. Because it doesn't do anything for me knowing it. And I guess we start making Dawn of Hope tokens and hoping that he taps out at some point, because Sinister Sabotage is usually the only... let's just dump Swamp. I'm going to keep the extra Dawn of Hope anyway. Sinister Sabotage is usually the only counterspell that they run, so I'm going to try and slap it down here. Doesn't do anything for us right away, but later down the line we're going to want it. If we'd managed to drop down anything that pays life as well, that's going to be really nice. And going to be our way of winning this game. So we have the Cleansing Nova for Doom Whisperer. If he does come down, he's not going to be able to counter it. But it's also possible we find something else off the top, I guess. Yeah, we've got to do all of this stuff. We're not going to exchange life totals, though, because we're at the higher life total. Oh, please. Please, opponent. Please keep surveilling and assuming that it's not a May. That would be amazing. Oh, that would be the best win of my life. If you surveil down to 2 thinking I have to switch over. Oh dear, I don't think he's that silly though. But you never know. Alright, well, we can play the Nova down by declining this one. And declining this as well. Another Cleansing Nova's nice. Okay, so Swamp, Nova, Threat gone. We have discard, fodder in our hand. And it looks like we're going to start Dawn of Hoping, honestly. It's not the way I want to win. But it's probably the way that we're going to win. Let's get rid of the spare Dawn of Hope this time. This land drop allows me to get an extra Dawn of Hope token next turn. And I guess Fountain of Renewal. Boop boop. No exchange required. And no. Maybe draw. Maybe not. We're discarding 2 a turn, so if we're drawing 2 a turn, then we get the choice. I suppose that makes it worthwhile. We get 1 less token, but now we get to have discard fodder. Extra land. I'm gonna get, let's see, 1, 2, 3 white. 1, 2, 3 red. Plenty of... Yeah, okay, so the mountain's the discardable one here. Alright, land go. And we'll make a Dawn of Hope token. Hopefully he didn't have a Doom Whisperer to block it. Thought Erasure. Take whatever you want. With this line, we're still taking... He's still taking 2 cards. And we're still not bothered about that being the case. As far as Deafening Clarion's concerned, if he's running Thief of Sanity, then it does have some applications, but otherwise it's mostly a dead card. Sometimes they run the Dream Eater as well. But I'm not convinced that my opponent is. I think he's mostly Doom Whisperer, Thief of Sanity as his outs. Alright. Ooh, what 1 mana play have you got? You got Ops in your deck? Although 1 mana play... Oh, he's discarding hand size. That would make a lot of sense. Alright. Select, and decline. Let's draw the 2 for the turn to keep up with the campaigns. Ooh, another Axis. Okay. And decline. Vraska's Contempt. Nice. Okay, so discard fodder now is Axis and Clarion. That's cool, I suppose. Maybe even the Field of Ruin, honestly, because there aren't any lands that you could play, other than maybe Search for Ascanta, which I haven't seen many players of Blue-Black actually running. But it's kind of Surveil, without the mechanic name. Yeah, I'll make my land drop for the turn. Why not? I don't mind losing these 2. The land drop gets me closer to winning. Eldest Reborn. Sure. Oh no, a token. Thought Erasure. Discovery, okay. Eldest Reborn is a tough one. We can't actually deal with it until he brings out his Doom Whisperer, and then that we can kill. We're going to need this Contempt to come down, though, and that might be a bit difficult with sabotages and hand disruption. So we'll have to see on that one. Alright. Let's draw some cards. No exchange required. Boop and boop. Lightning Strike. Ooh. Okay. And a land. And decline. Oh, Bloodfast. That's cool. That's a cool one. It's probably Doom Whisperer. And swing. Because we can actually have Doom Whisperer. I'm going to keep the land. Surveil down to a very low life total. Or low enough. Let's get rid of Axis of Mortality. We're going to be discarding a few more cards, I would imagine. Okay. Oh, please tap out. If he taps out, he loses. And he's dead. Upkeep stop. Cool. You're rid of the land. Let's surveil ourselves down to a very, very low life total. I don't think he realizes he's just killed himself. So why would you, really? But we have a free pay life here, so end your turn. Surveil. Doesn't matter. Surveil. I want to do this all the way down until Lightning Strike would kill us. Yeah. You might be getting the idea. Since we're not even dumping the cards into our graveyard. Either that or he thinks he's won. Good game. Yeah, so we go down to a very low life total. Lightning strike them to the face when we swap our life totals over, and that's game. We also, I think, was the math actually in the way of just dealing 1 damage as well, so that token would have killed them? I'm not quite sure. But either way, we had the win in hand. We had probably the win on board as well, if we can get low enough, which I think we could. Anyway, guys, let's go for another game. Okay then, we have reasonable mana, and a Bloodfast on 2 is quite nice against control, also drawing all of our cards we need, bit of removal and a full wipe. I think this is as close to a keep as you could possibly get, so let's keep it. We're on the draw though, so who knows, we're still like in a horrible position against some really early game threats. But I don't know if there's much we can do about that, and I don't think I throw away a hand like this on the off chance that it's one of our worst matchups. Okay, our opponent has arrived. I think. Are they here? Are you there? Oh, sit back, relax, and enjoy the free AFK win, I guess. There's the rope, and they're off. Mace Window currently out in the lead, and he's turned up with a good third of his top clock missing. Alright, we're playing Magic the Gathering. Please don't be control. This looks like the exact same matchup we just had. Maybe it's not though. Opponent not leading off with any blue is a nice sign. Let's get down the Argyl's Bloodfast. And we'll start drawing extra cards every turn. Field of Ruin for my opponent. And there's a pretty dead Chance for Glory. Honestly, I expect it to be stripped from our hand, but who knows. We'll have to see whether or not that's actually the case. Fields of Ruins, our red source. Okay, well I'm going to float some mana. And get some... I meant to get some red. That's fine. Oh, I was gonna use the floating mana to pay for a Bloodfast, but apparently the game doesn't like giving you priority for that kind of important decision making. That's fine, I suppose. Let's drop the planes. I also wanted a red source, but whatever. Many mistakes were made. Land go. Good news is this deck typically only runs Sinister Sabotage as its counterspell, so we shouldn't have to worry too much about things not resolving. Doom Whisperer is awkward, though it is dead anyway, because we do have the Cleansing Nova. So he can surveil all he wants. Axis of Mortality, okay. Extra lands so that we can, yeah, slap down this Axis on turn 6. Makes all of this payment with Bloodfast worth it. Ooh. Isolated Chapel. Let's kill the Doom Whisperer. He'll surveil in response to get the campaign back. And so long as he doesn't Thought Erasure us here, well then again, we have 2 Axis of Mortality, so he has to have Thought Erasure, land, and Sabotage to stop us from dropping it. That is a lot of things. They do sometimes run Discovery Dispersal as well though, so it's not stuck forever. Fungal Infection. My god. Why the hell would you be running that? Is this really a card people are running seriously? I don't know. I don't see the power in it all that much. There's like a red matchup where it's good, but... That's whatever. So he has a Thought Erasure. The jig is up. What does he take? It's a tough decision. What would I take in this situation? I might consider taking Chance for Glory, because I wouldn't understand why it was there. And being a one-of, you can cut that line out completely. He's not going to stop me from playing Axis next turn unless he slaps down a blue here. Takes Lightning Strike. That's also a fair one. It does stop us from double Lightning Striking, like a Doom Whisperer or something along that line. And he dumps a Sabotage. And plays a Campaign. Alright. Looks like we playing Magic. And there's Doom Whisperer. Nice. Alright, so let's get down Axis Immortality. We can start aggressively using Bloodfast now to take our opponent's life total down to a sad amount. Blood Operative is irrelevant. We have no Graveyard Synergies. He can gain 3 life, but he's only gaining us 3 life if I choose to allow it. Forgot to get my upkeep stop, but why wouldn't you let us switch from 14 to 14 game? God, this game's broken. Alright, well, let's go Sacred Foundry, untapped, Doom Whisperer. Essence Scatters. Alright, so he's not just dead. Good to know. Alright, so we're going to Bloodfast down to 10. He's going to Operative us to 7, and then we're going to swap life totals around. He's going to be at 7. If he attacks us, that is. Okay. I'm going to drop the other Axis. Don't need it. I'm pretty close to winning. Let me get that upkeep stop just in case. So the worst thing he could do here is attack us. Yeah, and he knows it. Alright. Well, I'm going down to 10 anyway. I'm going to take him to a low life total. So we can go down to 8, 6, 4, take an extra turn. If I take that extra turn, though, and he has a counter spell, we lose. So I won't be doing that. I'd do that in any matchup that isn't a counter spell deck. And I don't think I need to do this. If I had an extra Lightning Strike, I might consider the Chance for Glory, because if he counters it, then we're fine. I think I'll stay at 6. And then we'll draw another Vraska's Contempt. Okay. Play Dragon Skull Summit. Pass the turn. Thought Erasure. Yeah, do what you want. Take whatever you like at this stage. Chance for Glory. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. Bounces some stuff. Does some things. At this stage, now he should attack us because he has the less life total. So if I was to swap, it becomes harder for us to win. Let me get that upkeep stop again. 11 to 9. Well, let's swap those around, shall we? It's now 7 to 9. Ooh, that's pretty good. So we want to exchange life totals. I want to then try and take us down to Lightning Strike range, and I think we win. So we are dead to a Lightning Strike. But now our opponent is. They have to have a Contempt or something like that for their own Blood Operative twice over. I think it has to be Moment of Craving. Sinister Sabotage. In response, we Lightning Strike you again, and you're out. Why'd you deal so much damage to yourself, opponent? God. I just don't understand. Like, we just, you know, we drew some cards, but you killed yourself. You got down to 3 life. That was really greedy, opponent. What can I say? What can I say? We managed it. Yay! Oh boy. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this particular episode of Magic Arena Mana Burn. This one is not a good deck. I will state that every single time I build a bad deck for Mana Burn. It is not a good deck, but damn is it fun when it goes off. It is at its own risk of dying to Lightning Strikes, so be aware if your opponent is running red and you think they have a Lightning Strike, do not do what I was just doing there. Going down to 3 is pretty likely to kill yourself, so yeah, you want to really finesse around that, which makes it a really, really bad deck, but it's funny when it goes off all the same. But we could use even the Chance for Glory as well to take an extra turn with Doom Whisperer to get that final hit in as well. But if your opponent has removal for that, then the Chance for Glory will kill you. There's a lot of hoping your opponent doesn't have the answer to what you are doing. As far as strategy is concerned, it's kind of hilarious. But I hope you guys enjoyed anyway. Be sure to like, subscribe, share the deck around if you enjoyed it. And the video as well while you're at it, if you feel like doing so. Other than that, guys, I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.